Hello everyone, welcome to another yoga session. My name is Emily. Today I have for you a yoga flow all about tight or stiff hamstrings. So you will need a strap. I've got a yoga strap. If you have just a towel, like a hand towel maybe, or a tie or a belt, you can grab that, or a dog leash works really well. And then you will also want a thick pillow, so something a little bit more kind of padded. Okay, so we're gonna start off right away with just a little bit of decompression of our lower back. So we're gonna actually take our pillow, possibly even two pillows if you feel like you would like a little bit more. And we're gonna put it right underneath our hips and our belly. And then we're just gonna rest the head down. So you can always stack the hands, relax down, and then see if you can relax through the hips, the lower back, the belly. Take a big breath in and let it go. So the funny thing about the hamstrings is that we will feel tightness there, we will feel stiffness, or perhaps even a little bit of dysfunction or pain. And yes, we can have maybe some acute injuries that are causing pain, or we could really truly have tight hamstrings. But a lot of times the discomfort that we feel is coming from either dysfunction or tightness in our back, or dysfunction and tightness in our hips. So we'll work on all of that today. But for now, we'll take a big breath in, breath out. Every exhale, see if you can relax a little bit more into your pillow. If this feels really good and you want even more of that decompression in the lower spine, you can always put a second pillow under your hips. Just add a little bit more lift. And if ever you feel like the pillow is kind of pressing into your stomach in a way that makes it hard to breathe, just move the pillow down a little bit. And take one more big breath in. Breath out. Then we'll slowly just move the pillow out from under us. So you can just kind of press it off to the side, push it off to the side. We will maybe use it a little bit later as well, so keep it handy. And then again, we're just gonna rest down, this time with nothing under our hips, just for a moment, just to kind of feel what is going on. Let the hips settle. And if you deal with anything major, any major twinges in the lower back, and this feels like it's a bit too much, just keep that pillow underneath of your hips. We're only here for another few breaths. Then we'll lift up onto our elbows, right? And maybe, so your elbows can either come right underneath of your shoulders, but we haven't done a huge warm up for our low back yet. So if this feels at all intense, you just keep the elbows walked out a little bit further so that the rib cage can come down to the mat, right? We're just gonna breathe here for a moment. Take a big breath in, breath out. So if you are currently experiencing low back pain, again, maybe you stay right here, or you find a back bend that does feel suitable for you. You could just rest the head back down for a moment. If the lower back is feeling okay, though, we're going to slide the hands in. So the hands come by our rib cage. And if you've done class with me, you've done this before, cobra pose. We'll inhale, lift head and chest, hug the elbows towards each other, and then lower back down. We'll do that again. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, Exhale, lower down. We're going to do that 4 more times, so we'll move with our breath. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. 3 more. 2 more. Last one. Then we'll press into our hands to press up to our knees. Child's pose. So let's keep the knees together for now. Send the hips back towards the heels. Walk the hands out nice and far. And then see if maybe forehead can come down to the mat. If it can't, that's okay. You can always bring it to that pillow if you would like. And inhale. Feel your hips and your lower back inflate. Exhale, let it go. Let's do one more inhale. This time take the inhale. Let your rib cage and in between your shoulder blades inflate. Let that go. Then we'll rise all the way up and find a seat. Okay, so from here, we are going to extend the left leg out long, and we're going to bring the right foot in. The knee will point up towards the ceiling. You've got a little bit of space between that left leg and your right foot, right? We're not kind of pulling everything towards the midline. We're giving ourselves about hip distance to work with here. Okay, so we're just going to grab onto the shin. You can kind of interlace your fingers around your shin. Inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, just to stay. If you are thinking to yourself, well, this feels like a lot, right? You could always sit up on the pillow, lift your hips up. That'll give you just a little bit more space. But notice where you're feeling this pose, right? Are you feeling it in the back of your leg, or are you feeling it in your lower back or your hips? Right, so when we have this idea that we have, hip pain, or we have hamstring pain, or we have neck pain, right, we always assume it is associated with that body part. A lot of times it is due to some sort of joint system that is above or below. Okay, so let's just notice. Take a big breath in, breath out. Keep your left hand on the front of that right shin. And you're not going to pull the knee in. You're going to keep it right about where it is. You're just going to bring that right hand behind you. We'll inhale, lift up tall. Exhale, maybe we'll twist a little bit deeper and look over that right shoulder. Right, we're still just working on loosening up the low back, the spine. So if you're wondering when we're going to start stretching the hamstrings, we'll get there. Take one more big breath in, breath out, come back through center. We'll just switch sides, so we'll extend the right leg out, maybe kind of shimmy out the hips or shake out the legs, and then we'll draw the left foot in. Again, there's a little bit of space in between the right leg and the left foot. We're about hip distance. We got plenty of space for our hips to work here. And then we're just going to interlace our fingers around the left shin. Use that to help sit up nice and tall. Reach the crown of the head towards the ceiling. Take a big breath in and let it go. We just sit for a moment. We notice, is this side harder? Is this side easier? Where do you feel the stretch? And then we find our twist. So we'll keep our right hand on that left shin. Again, we'll keep the knee pretty stable here, nice and still. Bring the left hand behind. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, twist. Look over left shoulder if that feels okay in the neck. And then one more big breath in. Let your exhale unravel you. Extend both of the legs out. Shake them out perhaps. Okay, and then from here we're going to come into our a big open seated frog pose. So we're going to bring our feet out nice and wide so that if possible, right, we are trying to get our foot underneath of our knee. So our foot is not coming in here, right? I mean, if you need to, right? If the hips are talking to you or your lower back is talking to you, you can certainly accommodate. But otherwise, we'll just bring our feet out underneath of our knees. Bring your hands behind you. You can lean into the hands, but roll the shoulders back. Sit the chest up nice and tall. Okay. Again, we're just going to open up into the hips now. So we're going to pivot the left foot. We're going to keep the heel down. Just pivot the knee in and the foot in, right? And then open back up. Okay, we're going to do that a few times. The first time or two will be really nice and gentle, and we can continue to be gentle, right? But now we're going to start to use some of the strength of our legs to press that knee down. Stay here for a moment. Take a big breath in, breath out. Then open up. See how far you can press the leg open. So you're just using the strength of your legs. Let's do that 2 more times. We'll come through center, press that knee through center. Press a lot into the inner edge of that right or left foot rather. And then 1 more time, open up, close, and come back through center. We'll just do that with that right foot. So same thing. We're just going to pivot the knee and the foot in. The heel stays down. And then we're just going to open back up. A few times nice and gentle, no real force applied, just finding the movement. And then now we start to add that little bit of press, right? Press, press, press. And then open back up. Let's do that again. Press as much as you can. Open up and press out. Let's do that 2 more times. In and out, in and out, and then come back through center. Grab your strap and lay on your back. Okay, here we go. Hamstring time. You asked for it. So here we go. We're going to bring our strap or our towel or our whatever we've got, belt or dog leash, around the right foot, the arch of the right foot. The left knee will stay bent. The left foot is on the ground. And then we'll grab the strap with both hands. We'll extend the leg towards the ceiling. That right leg certainly doesn't have to go all the way straight. You can leave a nice little bend in it. But then we're going to pull on the straps ever so gently to pull that leg a little bit closer. So if you are experiencing pain currently and this aggravates that pain, either back off or skip the pose, right? So that goes for everything in this class, right? If it aggravates the pain, if it makes it worse, then we just back off or we skip. Okay, so we're gonna pull that leg in a little bit closer. We're trying to keep that right hip down on the ground, right? We're not lifting the hip up, we're keeping it down. Okay, for most of us, this is a big stretch. Okay, take a big breath in, breath out. We're gonna keep the tension on the strap or whatever you've got, your towel, right? We're just gonna bend the right knee, let the right heel come towards your bum. Pull it in as far as you can, right? Feel the engagement in the leg. And now extend that right foot back up towards the ceiling. Let's do that a few more times. We'll bend and straighten. Bend and straighten. Let's do it 2 more times. Okay, then we'll keep the right leg reaching up towards the ceiling, but we're going to take the both ends of the strap into the left hand. We'll bring the right hand down to the side next to us, and then we're just going to take that right leg across the midline of our body. So it's crossing over kind of that left. My right foot is right above my left knee. So it's not going very far, just a few inches towards the left. Then from here, press your heel away from you, pull your toes back towards your face. You should probably feel a pretty big stretch all along the outer side of your right leg. I feel it in my calf, I feel it in my hamstring, I feel it in my hip, I feel it pretty much everywhere. You can go a little bit further, maybe another inch or so if you want to try to intensify that stretch, but we're not going very far. Just breathe. Take one more big breath in. Let it go. Come back through center. We're going to do 2 more of these. Bend the knee. Lift back up. 1 more. Bend the knee. Lift back up. And then see if maybe you can pull the foot in, the leg in a little bit closer to you. Right? So we're just putting some tension on that strap. Breathe. And then we'll slowly release that right foot out of the strap all the way down. Let the right foot land next to the left. Close your eyes and just notice whatever it is that occurs for you. All right, maybe it's a sensation in the body. All right, we'll do the other side. So right foot will say planted down, and then we'll loop the strap around the left foot, arch of the left foot, extend that left leg towards straight. Right away, notice if there's a big difference between the left leg and the right leg, right? Okay, usually we have a big difference. So there's nothing really necessarily wrong with that, but we work to balance. Okay, so start to pull that left leg in a little bit closer to you. We're just breathing. Left knee can still be bent. Release the tension from your jaw. Release the tension from your forehead. All right, where are you holding that you don't need to be? And then here we go. We're going to bend the left knee. The left heel comes in towards your bum, right? We're not pulling the left knee in way, way close to our chest when we bend and then pressing it way away from us when we straighten. We're trying to keep it at about the same distance from us. Okay, just keep on bending and straightening a few more times. Let's do 1 more. And then keep that left foot extended, the left leg extended up towards the ceiling. Take the strap in the right hand. The left hand can come down by your side just for a little bit of extra support. And then we're just going to bring that left leg across the midline. So the leg is pressing towards straight, doesn't have to be all the way. But the left leg is slightly crossing over the right knee, and then we're pressing through that left heel. We're pulling the left toes back towards the face. And just breathe. This might be very intense. If you can't take a big breath in and a big breath out, then back off a little bit. All right, you should be able to breathe through all of these poses. And let's take 1 more big breath in. Let it go. Come back through center. We'll do 2 more of the knee bend and straighten. 1 more. And then just see if you can pull that left leg in a little bit closer to you. Maybe not, but maybe you get a little bit more space, a little bit more stretch. Take a big breath in, then let it all go. Release the foot out from the strap. And you can take that strap off to the side. We're going to cross the right ankle over the left thigh. So if this is already a big stretch, you can stay right here, or you can take your hands, loop them around that left leg and pull the legs in closer to you. So if you're somewhere in between, right, like if let's say that you pull the legs in and that means that your head and your shoulders have come off of the mat in order for you to pull it in, not really what we're looking for. So we're going to grab our strap. We'll let the head and the shoulders relax down. We'll take the strap behind that left thigh, and then that way we can pull the legs in, but we can keep relaxed through the head and the chest, head and the shoulders. And just breathe here. And then if you are feeling good here, right, like maybe it's an intense stretch, but it feels, everything else feels fine, you can take your right hand to your right thigh, and then we'll just slightly press away, and then maybe hug it in. Right, just this kind of gentle movement. If it feels better to bring the left foot down and then find this kind of press away and then pull in, that's fine too. Right, but just adding a little bit of movement to your stretch can really do some good. All right, so we're gonna keep the left foot where it is. We're gonna just drape the right leg over the left. So it's kind of, we're crossing our legs here. Okay, then we're gonna engage our core quite a bit, press our lower back down, and see if we can lift the legs up. So we've got the right leg crossed over the left. Lifting the legs up alone might put that right hip into a big stretch. So you can kind of just stay here, take a big breath in, let it go. If you want a little bit more, we're going to take our hands down to the feet, right? If that is accessible to you today, right? Some days it is, some days it might not be. And then we're just going to kind of rock a tiny bit side to side. So our Gomukhasana, or our cow face legs, but reclined. All right, we'll slowly let the legs go back down. You can always support them with the hands. Uncross the legs. We'll do that on the other side. So left ankle crosses over right thigh. Stay here if this is enough, or pull the legs in closer to you. You can always use that strap. And we'll just find a few breaths here. Then if it felt good, you could find that kind of movement here, pulling the knee in closer and then pressing it back out. And in fact, maybe we bring the right foot down to do that so we can press away, and then we'll bring it back towards us. It'll come through midline a bit. Okay, then we just drape that left leg over the right, right? Engage the core, press the lower back down. You can always use hands on the back of the thighs to help pull the legs up. And we can just stay here for a moment. You'll probably already feel the stretch in that left hip. If you want more of a stretch, slide the hands down the shins, grab for the ankles or the feet, and see if you can pull the feet out a little bit wider. Flex the feet quite a bit. And then if it feels okay, you could rock a little side to side. Slowly release the feet. Support the legs as they come down to the mat, and then uncross the legs. From here, press into your feet. We're going to shift the hips off to the left. Shift the hips to the left, hug the knees in, and then let them fall to the right, right? If you're experiencing low back pain, maybe you move very slow, or maybe you put the pillow underneath of your knees so the knees don't have to go so far. Stretch the arms out wide. If it feels okay, look over your left shoulder. Then come back through center, same thing but to the other side. So we'll reset the feet. This time we'll shift the hips over to the right. Draw the knees in towards the chest, then let them fall to the left. Stretch the arms out long, look over the right shoulder. Readjust as necessary. If it doesn't feel quite right, find something that does. And then again, notice where you feel the stretch. Do you feel it in your back? Do you feel it in your hips? Do you feel it in your hamstrings, right? Where is this pose for you? Then come back through center. And we're actually going to come onto our right hip anyways, right side anyways. So stretching is all fine and dandy, but most of the time when we experience pain, so you can just find this sideline position, most of the time when we experience pain, a lot of times it's because we have overstretched and we have understrengthened, right? We have felt tightness, and so we have stretched and stretched and stretched, when really what we need to do is we need to strengthen that area to support it. So we're gonna add a little bit of strengthening in here. Now that we've opened up the muscles, we will strengthen those muscles as well. So this is maybe more of, I don't know, like Pilates, I guess. I don't know. So that clamshell. So your feet are going to stay together. You've got your legs stacked on top of each other. Our hips are stacked, so we're not like letting the left hip pull us back. Everything is stacked. Hand can rest, or head can rest in the hand. And then we're just going to lift the left knee up and then close it. So when I open, I am not rolling back on my right butt cheek, right? I'm staying right on kind of the hip here, the hip bone, the side body. Okay, so we're gonna just do that 10 times. We're gonna open as much as you can, feel your glutes engage, and then close. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it open for 3, 2, 1. Bring it back down. Switch to the other side. So I'm just going to kind of twirl myself over. Come to that side lying position. Head can rest in the left hand. Knees and feet, legs stack on top of each other. That right hand can always support you in front, or I like to bring it to my hip so I can kind of feel what's going on there. So then feet will stay together. We'll lift that right knee up and lower it down. So notice if one side, keep going, feels harder than the other. We'll do 10 more. 9, like this side for me feels harder, right? And I'm looking at myself in the video. It doesn't look like I can open as much either. So let's do 4 more. 3 more, 2 more. Last one, we hold it for 3, 2, 1. Slowly close, roll onto your back. So I'm giving you a glimpse of strengthening, right? This is not enough. You gotta do them a little bit more. And then you gotta find some other things. So I'll do a strengthening video as well, so be on the lookout for that. But here we go. So we've got one more. We've got our bridge pose. Plant the feet about hip distance apart. Reach down. Maybe you can get close to touching your heels, but maybe not, right? That's not really the point. Maybe one day. Okay, then plant your hands, press into your feet, lift your hips up, squeeze your glutes, and then we'll lower down. Let's do that again. Lift up and lower down. Let's do 8 more. 7 more. Make sure knees aren't kind of flaring out as we press up. 6 more. 5, 4, 3, 2. On this last one, we'll hold it up there, really feel the glutes engage. That is what is keeping us up, right? And then let's find 5 little pulses. So really what I mean is let the glutes relax a little bit and then clench them again, right? That is what is pulsing us. So let's do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower down. Shupe Tabata Konasana, soles of the feet together, knees out wide. And maybe your hands come to your hip creases. So what I mean is that take it to the top of the thighs a bit here, and then press away. So my hands are pressing into my thighs, my arms are going as straight as they can, and I'm just finding a little bit of decompression in my lower back. And then just relax everything for a moment. We'll stay here in Shupe Tabata Konasana for 2 more big breaths in and out. And then stretch the legs out long. Relax the arms by your side. And just feel. Right, notice what's going on in the body. And then when you're ready, just roll onto your side, press yourself up to a seat. And again, just kind of notice what's going on in the hips. Notice what's going on in the low back. Notice what's going on in your hamstrings. Right, so start to consider that it's a whole body treatment that we're trying to establish, right? We're not trying to just treat one thing and forget about everything else, but we're trying to find the whole big picture. Okay, so if you like this video, give it a like, comment below with what you liked or what you'd like to see more of, and then don't forget to subscribe, maybe down here, maybe down here. I don't really know. But all right, thanks guys for joining and have a beautiful day. Namaste.